Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are so.
The Braves are celebrating Alumni Weekend in style, scoring 15 runs and racking up 20 hits en route to taking 2 straight against the Miami Marlins. Tonight, they welcome 2 new faces to town as the Braves go for 3 in a row against the Marlins. What a fantastic baseball weekend is unfolding here in Atlanta. On a gorgeous Saturday night, the Braves celebrate the 20th anniversary of their 1995 World Series championship. And oh yeah, David Justice with the big hit. And the big 3 is here too as the Braves and Marlins meet in Game 3 of our series here at Turner Field in Atlanta. Hi again, friends. Joe and Chip. Partner, you were here in 95. This has been an unbelievable weekend so far.
It's been so fun, and talking to guys who haven't been back here in quite a while, they're just thrilled to be back and be a part of it. But none more excited than the guys who are able to celebrate that 95 World Championship. And it was quite a run that whole season long, led, of course, by the 3 guys in the rotation that are all now in the Hall of Fame.
And, hey, with baseball games that are important for the Braves, the team's playing really good ball. The old guys are getting it done for the old guys here in Atlanta.
A lot of people call them old goats. We won't because they're playing so well right now. But a couple of guys who have been leading the charge, obviously, have been Nick Markakis and A.J. Pierzynski, both on long hitting streaks, and they're tearing it up over the last 2 weeks plus, really the last 3 weeks for A.J. Pierzynski.
And by the way, we've got some new old goats to talk about in the lineup.
Yes, we do. And you know, what better way to supplement what those other 2 guys are doing than to bring in a guy like Michael Bourn, who's been here and done that. 2-time All-Star, 2 Gold Gloves. Michael Bourn, welcome back to Atlanta. And Nick Swisher, a guy who's also been through the wars. The guy who's been battling some knee injuries the last couple of years, but also a former All-Star. 9 20-plus home run seasons to his resume. Adding 2 guys with as much experience as they have is quite an addition to these guys who've been trying to lead the charge by themselves, those veterans that have been on the field.
And they are both in the lineup for Game 3 of this series. And plenty of familiar names and faces were in the lineup for the pregame softball game. Andre Aldridge will break down who the hitting heroes were when we come back to Turner Field right after this.
Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Welcome back to Turner Fields. We're ready for some Saturday night action. Braves and the Fish trying to take care of a little business here at home is what we're doing. And I tell you, we've got all these stars here. Let's talk a little about the softball game that took place because it was awesome and good to the very last drop. We get you to the highlights right now. The 6th annual alumni softball game. Braves legends against the 1995 World Series champions. Team captains, Brian Jordan from alumni team, Bobby Cox from the 95 team. John Smoltz can play a little defense. That's why he was the MVP last year. Turned the 6-3 double play. Dwight Smith with the rare softball strikeout. Andrew Jones got a kick out of that. Now Chipper Jones, first pitch swinging. You got to do that. Gets the alumni on the board with a 3-run blast, knocking Charles Thomas over the wall. Bye-bye now. But Andrew Jones, sorry, fellas. He's Chipper. What do you expect? Andrew Jones wearing the GoPro gives the alumni the lead with the blast over the fence in left field. And our man, Larry Wayne, thank you, Chipper, saw 2 pitches all day, hits the 2nd home run of the game, giving the alumni the lead for good. Great job. Fans loved it. Even the current Braves were watching the ball game from down in the dugout as some of the older guys were having a little fun out there. But now it's ready for the real baseball game. Braves have been scoring runs like a softball. 15 runs scored over the last 2 games and having a little fish fry. Hopefully that continues right here. It's the Braves and the Marlins right here. Join us, Chip and Joe, and a host of friends after this.
Field in Atlanta. Let's check out the Marlins batting order presented by Academy Sports. D. Gordon, Martin Prado, Christian Yelich, the top 3. Casey McGee, the cleanup man tonight. Tom Kohler is an underrated right-handed starting pitcher. The Braves will have their hands full with him in Game 3 of this 4-game set.
Mike Foltynewicz is 3-3 on the year, and all 3 wins have been at home. Hopefully that works for him tonight, but his ERA, he's going to have to work on that and his batting average against, but hopefully a home field advantage for him. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight, coming off that start against the Giants in which he gave up 4 home runs in 6 innings and got a no decision. Thank you, teammates. Fastball command. He's got to get the ball down, and he's got to hit some corners. Also, left-handed hitters hitting him at a 346 clip.
He's greeted by one to start the game, D. Gordon, and a blistering fastball in for a called strike. 90 degrees in Atlanta tonight. And another strike to D. Gordon. It's 0-2. Nick Swisher in at first base. Michael Bourne, the Braves left fielder tonight. Just acquired from Cleveland yesterday. And Andrelton Simmons is back in the lineup too.
Missed 6 games. Good to see him back.
And that one bounced away from A.J. Przinsky. 1 ball, 2 strikes for D. Gordon.
One of the other important facts for Foltynewicz tonight is getting his breaking ball over it. These guys are just sitting on his fastball waiting for one down the middle. It's going to be a little easier for them.
Swing and a miss. Gordon didn't get it at 97 and collarbone high. 1 up, 1 down.
Good start for him and couldn't lay off, but that's the good result from getting ahead in the count.
Here's another fan favorite, Martin Prado, but he's in enemy colors. Prado, the Marlins' third baseman. Martin's had a good series. 3 hits, 3 RBIs. And he takes a little low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Backed it off to 98 there.
No! Martin Prado got smoked. At 97 miles an hour, that ball followed Prado in the right-hand batter's box, and he is fortunate to have had padding on.
I hope it hit the arm, but it may have hit him in the back. Nope. Elbow guard, you're right. Hopefully that guard absorbed most of it, but he's still in pain.
Prado hands off the batting gloves to Perry Hill, the first base coach. Now Christian Yelich bats.
Third hit batsman for Folty.
And outside, 1 ball, no strikes. With Marcell Ozuna down at AAA trying to get his offensive game straightened out, they've moved Yelich to center field, and he has really taken off at the plate. Already a terrific defensive outfielder as Michael Bourne's first chance is in foul ground. He's got it. And Yelich pops out for the second out of the inning.
You would think for a guy with his ability, for Michael Bourne, well, this would be no big deal to move to left field. Trouble is, he didn't get any fly balls today. The softball game was going on. No batting practice on the field, no practice on the field. So he's going out there cold tonight and gets tested right away.
Hasn't played left field in 8 years, we understand. And so from an outfielder's perspective, what is the biggest difference between center and left?
Slicing and hooking from balls that are going toward the line, going away from you in center field. That doesn't happen too often.
Downstairs to Casey McGee. 1 ball, no strikes.
Especially from left-handers, the ball fading away from you.
Prado a short lead. And he draws a throw. The other cool thing about Michael Bourne and what a great teammate he is, before Freddie Gonzalez could go ask him, hey, do you want to play center or left? He went up to the Braves manager and said, in essence, play the young guy in center. He was happy to move over, and the shot down the right field line by McGee is up against the fence. Prado on his way to third is going to be stopped, and it's a double for McGee, and the Marlins have runners at second and third with 2 outs.
Belt-high fastball. Even late major league players can put that in play. And a late stop sign, but a correct stop at third base by Lenny Harris.
Yeah, from my perspective, that's the frustrating thing about Mike. He's got great stuff, but he supplies so much power that hitters can be late and still hit it out against him. In fact, He's given up 7 home runs in his last 18 innings of work. He's got Dietrich up there, and he shoots one down the right field line. That's pulled foul. Dietrich just missed a double. Strike one.
Breaking ball. Got to have a breaking ball to offset that. These guys are going up looking dead red. First pitch fastball. They don't play in the big leagues if they can't hit a fastball. First inning issues like all of the Braves starters. Same for Mike Foltynewicz.
That was tipped into AJ's glove. It's 0-2.
I have said before about Mike, just keep pounding that fastball until they show you they can hit it or put it in play. They've done that.
So now he has his entire arsenal to play with. Way ahead in the count, 0-2. Prado and McGee at third and second, 2 outs. And he struck him out. 99-mile-an-hour heat. Couple of strikeouts for Mike Foltynewicz. Michael Bourne is back in the leadoff spot for the Braves. He'll get things started in the home half of the opening inning. First, here come the Braves in the bottom half of the opening inning, and look who's back in the leadoff spot. Michael Bourne, a former Braves All-Star, leads things off. Nick Swisher is batting 5th tonight. Andrelton Simmons is also back in the lineup at shortstop. He's batting 8th, and they'll face right-hander Tom Kohler.
Tom Kohler's last 2 starts have been anything but good. A 9.58 ERA in 10+ innings. Guy's got a good arm. He throws hard, low 90s, a knuckle curveball, and a slider. 8-8 on the year with a 3.71 ERA overall. Great to see Michael back.
Kohler's first pitch, a strike. With the Indians, Bourne hit .246, drove in 19 runs, stole 13 bases. But was riding a hot streak. Had 18 hits in his last 50 at bats. And I thought you made a great point last night, Joe. The Braves, since Michael Bourne left, really have been looking for a true leadoff hitter on their lineup card.
It's been a search.
And a
Nasty breaking ball gets Michael Bourne to swing and miss. He will do that from time to time. And there's the first out.
Well, the way I look at this trade is that the Braves traded one veteran and got two. It makes their lineup. There's a good breaking ball from Kohler, that knuckle curve. It makes their roster deeper in terms of experience, and there's no substitute for that. You can talk, till you're blue in the face about how much money went which way, but at the end of the day, by the time 2017 rolls around, the money will be even between the two clubs.
It's just when it's being spent that's advantageous for both teams as well.
It'll favor the Indians next year. It'll favor the Braves in 17.
Correct. And I know fans look at their numbers. Okay, neither one of these guys were having great years with the Indians. Swisher coming back from injury. Bourne, as we said, hitting in the high 240s. But for what the Braves are trying to do organizationally, you can't find two better guys to put on your 25-man roster as far as clubhouse character. I mean, that does mean something, does it not?
It does. The enthusiasm that Nick's already shown talking to the press today about his excitement about being here, that enthusiasm rubs off on everybody. It gives everybody a little shot in the arm about, during the dog days of August about, hey, let's go get them. You got two guys in the lineup tonight who play that way.
That's down the line by Maben. That ball is slicing. That ball is a fair ball. And Cameron Maben with an opposite field stand-up double is aboard with one out.
That makes him 4 for 8 in the series. He got a high breaking ball, looked like a slider. Was it on the chalk? Yep, right close to it.
And so it sets up perfectly tonight, as it did last night for the Braves. You got a man in scoring position for the two hottest hitters in your lineup, Markakis and AJ Pierzynski. Knicks riding a 14-game hitting streak.
Great crowd tonight.
And they got here early. I mean, they were lined up for blocks, it seemed, outside the ballpark to get here in time to see the Braves alumni versus the 1995 World Series champion alumni in the pregame softball game. One ball, one strike. And a ground ball slowly hit toward first. And Kohler to the bag. Makes the play, and somebody screamed check to make sure Maben didn't think about sprinting around third base and trying to score on that play. 2 outs, runner at third base.
These two guys hitting back-to-back have torn up the Marlins all year long. Markakis came in with a .378 average, 9 RBIs. AJ 333, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 7 driven in. Braves are 9-2 against the Fish.
So AJ with 2 outs, man at third base. And nearly got hit. 1 ball, no strikes. Kohler wants to keep him honest because Pierzynski's really hit him hard. AJ with 5 hits in 9 tries against Tom Kohler. 2 of those hits were homers.
And that may well have been a message pitch. But don't crowd the plate.
Is that good breaking ball? 2 balls and a strike. It's headed for the stands, foul. Nice catch. And the reason for the big crowd tonight, the 1995 World Series replica rings were handed out to the first 20,000 guests at the ballpark this evening.
Yeah, and like you said, I had to take a back road route back to get into the parking lot tonight. Filling up early.
And now a full count. Nick Swisher ready to make his Braves debut if AJ can reach. Kohler's throwing hard too. Start number 21 for Kohler. Lack of run support has cost him a time or two this year. He's been given 2 runs or less in 12 of his first 20 starts. And AJ into center field. Base hit with 2 outs and the Braves lead. A 13-game hit streak for Pierzynski. Maben scores. It's 1-0.
Something off speed. I think it's a slider again. Same pitch that Maben hit. Yeah. Cement mixer. AJ hit it hard enough to get it over the infield and soft enough to keep it away from Yelich. 37 RBIs for AJ. Good start tonight.
And a fresh start for Nick Swisher. 2 knee surgeries really wrecked the first half of his season while with the Tribe. There are his numbers. Played just 30 games. And he was positively beaming about coming to Atlanta.
Has not played since June 12th at Detroit and hasn't done anything except DH since May 16th.
One ball, 1 strike. I think Nick had a Twitter post today talking about how excited he was to be in Atlanta and even used the word y'all. However, I think he forgot the apostrophe, but we'll cut him some slack. 2 balls, 1 strike. Downing ball into the seats above the Braves dugout. 2-2.
The trades the Braves have made, everybody knows it's to improve the team for quote unquote down the road. This is something that I think the fans have that's tangible, where they can say, hey, okay, I know who these guys are. And they certainly know Michael Bourne. They've heard of Nick Swisher.
And Kohler just struck him out, and that retires the side. Cameron Maben scores the first run on a 2-out single from AJ Pierzynski. We head to the second. Top of the second inning. And let's check out our Home Depot tools from the dugout as we celebrate the magical 1995 season. Here is the resume of Braves Hall of Fame skipper Bobby Cox. And that last line, a special moment for all of us and a special moment tonight. The skipper's here. Bobby, you look great, man.
Feel good, Chip, and it was fun being around the guys again this evening. And the ball game, I was down in the tunnel most of the time talking to our old coaches, Clarence Jones and Leo Mazzoli. Got a little hot out there, but Chipper brought us home okay.
Did your team win the match?
Yeah, we won it. They pitched around Alejandro Pena to get the Chipper, and he bombed one.
What's new, you know?
Not much.
Another game winner for Chipper.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we just got back from the Hall of Fame with John Smoltz, so a couple more years we'll have another Brave in there, and that'll be a lot of fun also. But it was a great ceremony. John did a super job as usual, and a lot of fun this year. The pressure was off the three of us, Glav and Maddox and myself, so we were a little bit looser.
Is it different being a Hall of Famer a year later now?
A little bit. You know, it didn't really dawn on me that, you know, during the ceremony and everything. It was this year that when we went back, I think it was more of an influence that, you know, you made it to the top of the hill here.
So we're here tonight in Atlanta all weekend long talking about what's hard to believe 20 years ago the Braves won the World Series against the Cleveland Indians. Besides the Game 6 victory and that incredible celebration, what do you remember most about the entire 1995 season?
Oh, I don't know. You know, it was a shortened season, and we won 90 games, I think. We only played like 140, something like that. And we won our division by double digits, I'm sure of that. And was trying to keep the guys sharp going into the playoffs and, you know, keeping them major league ready and playoff ready. So, but, you know, it was a great season, and we played a great team against the Indians. They had all the hitters in the world on that team, but we had all the pitching. So, as they say in the old days, pitching dominates good hitters, and that's what happened.
Bobby, that was the first year of division play, too, with the wild card team.
That's a base hit down the right field line by Cole Gillespie, and the Marlins are going to have runners at second. They're going to bring a runner home from third, and the throw's going to be late. And Miami's tied it up. Ball trickles away from Przinski, flipped by Fultonevich to third, and Gillespie's in at third, and we're tied one apiece.
With that added round of the playoffs, when you had to play Colorado that year the first time, did that give you a little pause for concern where normally you just had to get through one team to get to the World Series?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. It makes a huge difference. And, you know, one of the reasons we won that series, Chipper Jones made a play over the third base bag on a ground ball that if he hadn't made that play, we probably wouldn't have been in the World Series. But he did, and we got there. But it's tough now to, you know, the last 2 years, wild card teams have won it. So, you know, it's a flip of the coin every once in a while.
Bobby, we're celebrating 95, but we're also celebrating the incredible run of 50 years of baseball in Atlanta. If you can, take us back in your mindset as the general manager of this organization and the idea of the pitching dominated philosophy that you helped instill here. Was that a difficult thing to convince ownership to do? And if so, how did you convince them to do it?
We were a little bit of programming for Ted Turner at the time, and we got a couple players that, you know, were characters, and Ted liked that for programming. And once we got away from that kind of thinking and thinking about putting a winning team on the field, it got a lot better. And, you know, a lot of guys were responsible for that, mainly Paul Snyder, our scouting director, and some of the other guys. But, you know, it's been a great run. And, you know, if you talk to anybody in baseball, you know, the first thing we got to do with this team is we need 3 good starters at least, and we go work on the bullpen a little bit, and hopefully we can, you know, score enough runs to win tight ball games. And it was that way for the longest time here, believe me.
Throw to first. Simmons looked Gillespie back to third, who was thinking about heading home on contact. He knows about Anderson's arm, and that saved a run and keeps the game tied. And there's the first out of the inning.
Is he fun to watch or not,
man.
Chip?
I mean, have you seen anybody much better than this?
No, in the minor leagues, you know, I was following them a little bit, and the guys would come in, the coaches from there and the instructors, and said, you know, it's showtime every single night. every night he does something special, and he's done it just about every game that he's played for the Braves. He's incredibly good.
So Tom Kohler's the hitter, runner at third with one out. Foltynewicz with that big arm gets ahead, strike one.
Back to Andrelton real quick. I know, Bobby, we all appreciate his physical talents, but one of the things I love about Andrelton are his instincts, and he's always looking to get an out somewhere when you least expect it.
You better not round first base too far on a single to left field, and the ball's being thrown back in. He'll nail you. He's done it many times, and you know, of all the shortstops I've seen, he's right at the top for me. I've seen some great ones in my day, but he's a special kid, and he plays hurt, plays hard, and he's got great instincts.
Strikeout number 3 for Mike Foltynewicz. 2 outs in the top of the order in D. Gordon. I'm not suggesting in any way that Mike Foltynewicz is going to be on the same career arc that John Smoltz is, but do you see some similarities between the two of them at this, shall we say, unpolished stage in Foltynewicz's career?
It's unpolished. It's lack of control right now, as a lot of young hard throwers do, and it takes a year or so to get the bugs out of it. I saw him this afternoon, said hello to him. I said, you know, throwing strikes is good. Quality strikes are a lot better. And he's got a great arm. I love him as a starter for the future, but if all that fails, he's going to be one of the dominant closers in the game. I feel it was tough to give up Gaddis in that trade, but we needed some young pitching, and we got it.
And there's a lot of it, isn't there?
A lot of it. We haven't even seen part of it yet. They're not ready, but some other kids are down there that we'll see up here in probably 2 or 3 years.
D. Gordon, the speedster, struck out on a face-high fastball his first time up, and he taps one to the mound. Folty's got it. He throws a strike to first, and that takes care of D. Gordon. Skipper, can you stick around for another half inning?
You bet.
We want to talk about the Braves' offense. It's a 1-1 game. Security. Get a professionally monitored in-touch system with $1,800 in free equipment, including an exterior camera and touchscreen door lock. Please visit cpisecurity.com. Home second. It's 1-1 Braves and Marlins. Jace Peterson, Adonis Garcia, and Andrelton Simmons are coming up as the fans here in Atlanta celebrate the 1995 World Championship with a replica ring of their own.
That ring is unbelievable.
It is awesome, isn't it?
I put one on my finger when we were being introduced on the trucks coming in, and I said, my goodness, I thought they'd be made out of plastic or something, and, just a replica.
Yeah.
I want one.
Yeah. Yeah. Bobby, this ball club, as it's been constructed this year, and we all know that it's been lacking some in experience, but certainly not in hustle and the way they play. But when you add a couple of veterans like Bourne and Swisher, sure does help solidify some things in the lineup, doesn't it?
Well, it does. And when we left spring training, we weren't considered one of the top teams or anything like that in hitting. And, you know, we missed Markakis all of the spring, and that was one heck of a hitter not to see for 6 weeks down there. And, you know, you evaluate the team with him off of it and him on it. It's a little bit different. I think we've held our own in the hitting department. I think our hitting coach has done a super job with them. They're thinking more up the middle, less strikeouts. And they've done a good job of that. And they're a fun team to watch. They hustle, they play hard. Instinctively, I think, you know, Carlos and Freddie and the coaching staff, they do a great job with that all spring training and throughout the season. And they don't make a lot of mistakes. But, you know, with the young pitchers, you're going to see some good games, some in-between games, and not so good games, just like Smoltz and Glab and Maddox did when they first started.
2 balls and a strike for Jace Peterson, and that's taken high. Major league managers who manage as long and as successfully as you did all have managerial trees. And by that I mean men who follow you or follow your example in the managerial chair. You've got 2 real good ones working in the major leagues right now. Ned Yost in Kansas City, and as you mentioned, Freddie Gonzalez here with the Braves.
Yeah, you bet. Ned, you know, got him in the World Series, and it looks like they have excuse me, a great opportunity to do it again. Freddie's done a super job here. We didn't have the best clubs when we won 94 games, and they did. So, you know, and we had Jimmy Williams come through here as well, and, you know, Pat Corrales was a former manager and one of our longtime coaches. So it's been a pleasure to watch these guys, you know, get a shot at it and do well at it.
Here's Adonis Garcia. He's hit 4 homers. Ooh. And a base hit to left. And Peterson is on his way to third base. First and third with nobody out. That was a rocket.
Adonis Garcia was a guy that was cast adrift by the Yankees, Bobby, and the organization picked him up. Eddie Perez said, hey, this guy can hit.
No, he can.
He can.
Brian Snitker, his manager in Gwinnett, said he could hit too. And, you know, I was thinking about him being called up a month ago or 2 months ago before we were in trouble up here with injuries. But he's done a great job. And, you know, we signed a good hitter in the draft, too, to play third base. And he's doing well in the Florida League there. And
Riley?
Riley, yes. He can really swing it. So, you know, it's hard to get hitters in that draft unless you're picking number 1 or 2 or 3. You better be in the top 5 to get a good one.
Fly ball toward right. There's the catch. Here comes Peterson on the tag. Throw to the plate is up the line. Sacrifice fly for Andrelton Simmons. Welcome back, Andrelton. ABC baseball for the Braves. The skipper likes that, and Atlanta's back in front. You saw that?
I do like it. Yeah, right. I've seen a lot of that. We used to play so many close games when Glab and Smoltz and Maddox pitch. You know, we'd win by 1 run half the time, and you know, it was low scoring in those days. The long ball it had disappeared for a while, that's for sure. But it's fun to watch teams play like this. For me, I almost can't watch an American League game, to be honest with you. You know, I hope they never go to the DH in the National League.
Me too.
It looks like they will someday, I'm afraid. But National League game is so much better and more interesting for the fans. I mean, you know, they score enough runs to excite the fans, but I think a tight ball game I'd rather watch one of those than anything.
Which did you prefer to manage?
Oh, in the National League. I used to sit on a bag of balls in the American League, and they go get them, guys. Wake me up when it's 9th inning, and I'll do something maybe.
No balls and a strike for Mike Foltynewicz, who's been given a 2-1 lead against Tom Kohler tonight. Back to first is Adonis Garcia. Well, John Smoltz went to the Hall of Fame this year. The big 3 together now forever in Cooperstown. Bobby, give us your best memory of John Smoltz.
I don't know. His first start was in New York against the Mets when they had a great hitting team, and he pitched well in that game. I even wanted his pitching coach at Richmond to be there to make his debut. So we brought Leo Mazzoni in to watch him. And John pitched very well, and you know, he's had some kind of career. As I said, he did a great job in Cooperstown. Next year, he'll be the one that's relaxed. And he just played a joke on me when I was joining you two guys here. There's a fella sitting in the chair here, and you could tell he had a toupee on. so I didn't look at him real good. I didn't want to embarrass him by staring at him. And it was Smoltz. He took it off. I said, geez, he got me good.
And he was a practical joker, too, until he got between the white lines.
No. The day he pitched, he was like a bull in a china cabinet store. He was all over the place. So, but he had his fun when he wasn't pitching.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Fultonevich. Hits are even at 3 apiece. And that's bunted foul, and Fultonevich is down on strikes.
A lot has been made, Bobby, over the years of the competitive spirit between those 3 guys, wanting to kind of outdo each other. Don't let the other guy get too far ahead of you. And some of that carried over into their golf games. And you gave them the freedom to do that. Go play as long as they didn't get in the way of playing baseball.
Right.
And I think that was very admirable, because that's not the way it is in every ball club.
Yeah, I want them to play the day after they pitch for sure. And nothing better than going out, getting loose, and sweating a little bit, and have a fresh start when they get back. So it was competitive pitching and on the golf course, I'm sure. And, they fed off each other pitching wise for sure, and it was a good thing, a really, really good thing. It's good to see Michael back with us.
What a great guy, huh?
Yeah, oh God, he's thrilled to be back here right now. He's the best. He's super.
And the Braves have been looking for a leadoff man ever since he left.
Yeah, we have.
It's too bad he left.
Yeah. If we could ever keep his legs being healthy, I think we really have something here.
No balls at a strike for Bourne, who struck out his first time up. And that's taken high, and even count. Joe made the point a moment ago, Skipper, before you came up, with Swisher here. And when Freeman comes back, with Simmons back, with Bourne, all of a sudden this Braves lineup, which has struggled to score runs a lot of the time this year, is suddenly pretty potent and pretty deep.
Yeah, it's a lot better. It's a lot better. And come on, Mike. Yeah, they're going to score more runs, I think. We get Freeman back, as you said, and our bench is going to be stronger, and the whole team's going to be happy, right?
Skipper, great to see you. Enjoy the celebration tonight. The great Bobby Cox, Hall of Fame manager of the Braves. He likes close games. We got one tonight. It's 2-1. Time for our Lowe's Never Stop Improving feature. Well, those are some great shots. And I'm sure for Greg Maddux brings back some great memories of his time here with the Braves. 194 career wins as a member of the Atlanta rotation. And in the Hall of Fame, too. Welcome back.
Well, thank you. It's good to be back.
You look great.
Thank you.
What are you up to these days?
Nothing. Feel good. Doing a little part-time with the Rangers, playing a lot of golf, and just enjoying life, enjoying retirement.
What a great thing the Braves have done with this alumni weekend, isn't it? And bringing everybody back, especially the '95 team.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was good seeing all the guys again. You kind of forget how many teammates you had over the years, and you come to something like this, and you're like, golly, I knew a lot of guys.
Martin Prado leads off for the Fish here in the 3rd inning and taps one toward 3rd. Garcia's got it. Long throw. Got in by a step. One man down. Probably the toughest question tonight. Pick one memory. What's your favorite memory of your time with the Braves?
Well, I mean, pretty easy. I mean,
Right.
It was Mark Wohlers throwing the fastball by Hager flying out to Marquise and, left center. And definitely winning that World Series was probably the highlight of them all.
That was an unbelievable moment. We're overdue for another one. Hopefully it'll be coming sooner rather than later here in Atlanta. As Christian Yelich bats with the bases empty and one man out. He flied out his first time, and he's going to ground out to Simmons at short.
I remember many times people would ask you about, as your career went on, about Hall of Fame, and you said repeatedly, I'll think about that after I get through playing. When that finally happened, how did it make you feel? And especially with all three of you in there now.
Yeah, it's pretty special. It's pretty special because I had the opportunity to go with Clav and Bobby, and played half my career with those guys, and to be able to share that weekend with them was very special. Also, I had a chance to play with Joe Torre, who went in as well. Yeah. So other than Tony and Frank, it's pretty good.
I've always wanted to ask you, because the era in which you pitched, I think it makes the numbers that you and John and Tom were able to acquire and accumulate so much more impressive than just the raw numbers would indicate. But comparing and contrasting the era in which you played to now, how do you evaluate the state of pitching in Major League Baseball these days, in your opinion?
In my opinion, it's better. I mean, obviously the velocity's up. Guys throw harder. Their breaking balls break more. They're bigger, stronger, faster. They kind of win more with stuff now, where I think we try to do it with more location and changing speeds. I think we were able to win a little bit more, too, because the bullpens changed a little bit now. Now you see the bullpens coming in the 6th, 7th inning. And anytime you leave the game and the bullpen's got to get 9 outs, your chances of getting that win kind of go down a little bit. I think just for the fact that, we pitched a little bit longer allowed us the opportunity to kind of hang around for the win.
And the word pitch, I think, is the really important one, because you were drafted because of your ability to pitch, not because you lit up a radar gun, correct?
Well, yeah, I threw hard, though, when I was young, believe it or not. But yeah, I mean, I always thought that, I learned some very valuable lessons early in my career that went a long way. And it was very simple. You locate your fastball, you change speeds. And as far as pitch selection goes, if you keep in front of the outfield, you did pretty good. And, that's kind of what I stuck to my whole career. And you got strikeouts on accident.
Foltynewicz
on accident.
Get a visit.
I like that. Yeah. Trying to pitch to contact, and all of a sudden you've gotten strike 3 and the guy's heading back.
Well, you didn't necessarily pitch to contact, but you tried to throw a pitch, not for the purpose. You try to throw a strike.
Not to the barrel, anyway.
Yeah, well, you try to throw a strike, trying to get the guy out, and, sometimes they didn't swing or they missed it.
Hey, by the way, you can still field your position. I saw that line drive hit back at you today.
Yeah, I saw it too. Thank God. That was.
It was a softball game. Johnny Estrada hit a rocket back at him, and
it looked like a beach ball again. Yep.
2 balls, no strikes for Derek Dietrich, who struck out in the first inning. So you're with the Rangers. Do you follow the Braves from afar? Do you still keep up with what's happening here in Atlanta and what John Hart's trying to do with the organization?
Occasionally. I try to lock in on the Rangers,
right.
When I'm working. I watch the Ranger games every night and, read the reports every morning. And I'm kind of stuck in that American League right now. So, I spend the majority of my time in the other league. But occasionally I will look at the Braves and see how they're doing. I'm a big fan of Freddie Gonzalez. Always had a lot of respect and admiration for him, and it's nice to see him doing as well as he's doing.
You're obviously doing something right with the Rangers. They're only 5.5 games out of first place out west.
That's the rest of the coaches, and my brothers over there. They're hands-on every day, and I mostly just watch the games at home in Vegas. I TiVo the ones if I know I'm not going to be around, and try to get to them later.
A couple of walks here for Foltynewicz, and he's behind.
Give me and our fans an update on Kathy and the kids.
Oh, they're doing great. They're doing great. My son just graduated high school. He's going to start at UNLV next. He's probably going to redshirt.
Wow.
Probably going to redshirt. And my daughter's about to enter her 4th year of college. I'm not sure if it's going to be her last or not, but it's going to be her 4th year at USD. And they're doing great. They're being kids. They're growing up. They're starting to turn into adults, and it's nice to see.
Chase is going to college.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Foltynewicz has missed with 10 straight pitches, 2 walks, and now a 2-0 count to JT Realmuto, the catcher. And there it is. It's 2-1.
And you say he may redshirt. Pitcher?
Yeah, he might. He pitches. He does everything right. You know, just doesn't throw hard. Good curveball, good changeup. You know, can sink it just a little bit. Thinks good, feels good, does all the things around. But he's a very young 18, and I think they're going to redshirt him this year. Hope he matures a little bit, and he's ready to go to follow the next 3 years.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. That's blown outside. You got any quick John Smoltz stories that you can share with us with 2 outs?
Well, you know, Smoltz, a great guy, great teammate. You know, obviously I've had fun making fun of his hair, you know, ever since he started losing it when he was like, what, 25, 26 or whatever it was. But very happy for him to go into the Hall of Fame, and was a privilege to play with him. It was great to see where he ended up at the end of his career, and I enjoy listening to his games that he's doing now on TV. So
that same passion comes through, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. He likes baseball. He likes doing what he's doing at the moment, and he's very good at it.
Well, how about Tommy?
Yeah.
Tommy's up here all the time.
Getting into it now,
he was supposed to be up here tonight. He's partying with you guys.
Yeah, I know. I saw him up there in the suite there a few minutes ago.
We have to drag him in for the late innings if it gets to that. Pitch is not a play.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
But, you know, Tommy, so competitive, so talented, and a guy that grew up a Brave too.
Yeah. Glav had he had the funk the last 10 feet. You know, you watch Glav, and you never know how good he is until you hit off of him. And I realized that when I went over in spring training. You know, the pitchers always hit off the other pitchers in spring training before the hitters got there. And you know, Glav, you know, it's hard to see the ball the last 10 feet, and that seemed like where his ball had the most movement. And I think that's the reason for his success was incredible deception. Obviously, all the other intangibles were there. You know, he loved to win, hated to lose, good competitor. Pitched when he was hurt. I mean, did. But the bottom line was the last 10 feet, his ball did something that the most of the pitchers' balls didn't do.
People said that about you too, though, huh?
Well, hopefully. I mean, that was, to me, that's the secret. You know, the closer the ball gets to the plate, the harder it is to see. So obviously, you wanted all your movement late, not early.
Some trouble here for Mike Foltynewicz. Big arm, Greg, but he's walked 3 straight guys, and he throws 97, 98 miles an hour.
Yeah. Just, well, you know what? Throw it 97, but throw it knee high and throw strikes.
Bobby said he saw him before the game and said, throwing hard, but strikes are better, and quality strikes are even better than that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's the bottom line is, you know, trust your stuff. And, you know, the best pitch in baseball is a located fastball, and it doesn't have to be on the corner. You know, when you're throwing like that, if it's knee high, it's pretty good.
He's got some trouble now. Cole Gillespie's up. Gillespie doubled to the right field corner and tied the game for the Fish in the 2nd inning. Foltynewicz set down 5 straight before 3 straight walks. There you go. Leonard high at 97.
You know, the best part is he's only 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. So all he has to do is make 1 quality pitch. He's out of the inning. You know, kind of no harm, no foul.
Is it hard to teach young pitchers to think that way?
It's definitely easier said than done. I mean, you kind of do what you can. And, you know,
this day and age, are young pitchers receptive, as receptive as you were when you were his age?
I think they are receptive. You know, I think the most important thing, like when they start to realize, like that pitch right there, even though he got a strike, he didn't throw it where he wanted to, was to somehow make some kind of mechanical adjustment on this next pitch coming up right here. And you know, if he executes a good pitch right here, he's going to get out of the inning.
Well, let's see what he's got in mind with A.J. Przinsky. No balls, 2 strikes. Mr. Fastball, 1-2.
Greg,
that's all right. You got 3 to make 1. You know, it's 1 and 2. You got 3 pitches to make 1, and you know, let's do it this pitch. You know, let's not just, you know, put it on the 2-2 and the 3-2 pitch coming up. Let's go ahead and get him out right here. That would kind of be where I'm at right here in this situation.
Greg, I had some great hitting coaches, some hitting coaches that were great hitters in their careers, but they weren't able to convey. They could show me how to do it. They really couldn't tell me how I should do it.
Yeah.
Is that a problem for you when you're working with young pitchers?
Well, you know what I think? I think you don't lie to them. You give them your honest opinion on what you think they need to do better. And I think ultimately it's their decision to decide what's best for them. All you're doing is trying to give them more ideas to maybe speed up their development a little bit. And if it sticks, great. They can run with it. If not, you know, you can always go to plan B, C, D, and F. And, you know, I believe there's 100 different ways to pitch. You have to find that one way that works best for you.
Well, he is going to have to go to plan F. It's the 3-2 pitch. And it's a high hopper.
Finally made the look.
Adonis has it. Long throw. Safe. A bouncing ball off the plate. Gillespie called safe at first. The Braves may take a look and challenge the call. As it stands now, it's a 2-2 game. And we await word from Horacio Ramirez in the Braves clubhouse on video review.
If it had missed the plate, they'd have had a much better chance.
Pretty close. But see, I think to me right there, the bottom line is he finally made the pitch he wanted to make, you know. And you don't get too caught up into the result, what happens after that. All you can do is control the pitches you make. And right there, he finally did make a good 2-strike pitch. And he didn't get the result he was looking for, but he did what he was supposed to do.
So this is a Danny Echeverria. 2 outs, bases still loaded, and popped out of play. Foul. 0-1 is your count. Visiting with Hall of Famer Greg Maddux. Jake Brigham's up in the bullpen. He's starting to loosen up.
Texas guy.
That's exactly
Texas
right.
The last couple of years. Good guy, good dude.
Great guy. 9 years in the minors and finally got a shot with the Braves this year.
Yeah, it's great to see. He was a guy over there that all the coaches loved and pulled for, and he's a guy that's doing everything he can to get the most out of his ability. A lot of respect for him.
Guys have to be fired up about Cole Hamels in Texas, huh?
Absolutely. You know, we're glad to have him, lucky to have him, and here we go.
Well, we're glad he's out of the East. I can promise you that. Popped up to short. Greg, great to see you, man. Congratulations on the Hall of Fame career, the '95 championship, and really appreciate you coming up.
All right, bud.
Great, Greg Maddux. Bolton-Evich and the Braves tied up 2 apiece.
I recognize that guy.
Yeah, we got Uncle Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
It's what it used to be back in the day.
Come on.
No, it didn't.
Well, I was close. I mean,
maybe you and the whole family put together.
Yeah, you were playing the accordion with that working?
Yeah, I had curly hair and long hair. Not like DeGrom, but I just knew it was falling out in clumps, and I better enjoy it as long as I could.
I love what you said about the wig at Cooperstown when it was, 93 degrees at the speech?
Oh, my gosh. That is, I don't know how Robin Yount does it, to be honest with you. He's got a lot of hair.
Yeah.
I had to get it off quick.
It's tough duty.
It is, and I don't know how you do it, but you got it so perfectly manicured.
Well, you know what? As I've told Joe a million times, between my hair and my eyebrows, if I ever go your route, I can just comb these bad boys straight up over my forehead, and I'm good to go. We got nothing to worry about. How are you?
I'm doing good. You know what? A lot of people afterwards, I got back to the network, and they said, it is now, I like you bald much better than you with hair. So
I'm with them.
So yeah. I actually got an upgrade.
RT Prado, good play to get Cameron Maybin. In all seriousness, congratulations on the Hall of Fame. We're among the last to be able to say congratulations to you after what's been, I'm sure, a whirlwind couple of weeks. Has this sunk in yet? Is it real to you yet?
You know, you guys are on the road a lot too, so you know what it's like. But when you're 2 or 3 days of the month of July at home, because of a lot of things, the All-Star game and choosing to go to Tahoe and then the Hall of Fame, I mean, getting home is the first time it's gotten a chance to just slow down a little bit. Everything's gone so fast-paced. It couldn't have been better. The week was unbelievable. But it was the biggest out-of-body experience I've ever had. I've been involved in a lot of things and not afraid to laugh or make fun of myself. Look, I got a wig on and I'm doing the game. But that was so unbelievable that I'm just glad I got through it. I really am.
Will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Take that thing off.
Good. Guys, it's hot.
Give me the headset here.
Wow, thank you. I'm sweating under there.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say that.
It was making me itchy.
Wait a minute, we should have made him wear it for an inning or two. Hot gosh. So what was your favorite moment?
Yeah, the favorite moment, I think, of all of it was coming around the corner in that parade. Glavine told me about it. He said, wait till you make the turn. You ain't going to believe it. And, you start out in the trucks. There's just so many people, and they're all basically like they were your hometown fans.
Base hit for Nick Markakis, his hitting streak now to 15 games.
And just really getting a chance to talk to guys you never would get a chance to talk to. I mean, Sandy Koufax, Steve Carlton, you name it. Got a chance to rub some elbows and take my ribbing, if you will, and as a rookie. And Tom Seaver wore me out every single day, which was pretty cool. But at the end of the day, that room is filled with guys you just go, I can't believe I'm in this room.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. You're a kid growing up in Michigan, and obviously you love baseball. You had a gift. You had a talent. Did you ever, in your wildest imagination, ever think that someday we would be able to say John Smoltz, first ballot Hall of Famer?
Never. I really did. And I was
without K-line.
That's what I'm saying. I was totally prepared for if it never happened or if it took 10 years or whatever the limit. I was literally, I tell people all the time, seeing
McGee got the tag on the arm of Przinsky. Kohler didn't cover first. McGee faked to second or looked to second and then realized, uh-oh, I better get the man at first, and got the tag.
Here's why you would have loved playing with A.J. Przinsky. He hits this ground ball, but he never in 1,000 years thought that he might have a chance to beat this out. And if he had any idea that he was going to try to tag him, he would have maybe done something different and made him mad that he got tagged out.
This is about the only time you should slide it first, right here, avoiding the tag. But you know what? Seeing Glavine, Maddox, and Bobby go in last year was enough for me. Like, that was the greatest thrill that I could have, seeing my teammates and obviously the manager that I love playing for go in. This is icing on the cake, to have the call come the next year. I was numb. I answer my home phone maybe twice every 5 months because you get all these different calls. I didn't know. I thought they were going to call my cell. So the phone rang and I wasn't going over to it. And then I saw I better check caller ID. And it was 212 area code, and I picked it up as fast as I could. I'll bet. And I was just hoping they'd get to it quick, one way or the other. You know, sorry, try next year, but they did, and still pitching myself.
2 balls, no strikes to newly acquired Nick Swisher, who struck out his first time up. Game's tied 2 apiece. Braves are batting in the 3rd inning. Game 3 of our 7th Marlins. It's hammered foul out of play. Let's go back, John, to not the late 80s, but let's go back to the 1991 season, because that's where I think it really began for you. It really was a tale of 2 seasons, and really a tale of your career.
No doubt. And I think, again, without my manager, there's a lot of grumblings of get me out, put me in the pen or send me down. He had all the faith in me, and certainly that second half was an opportunity to show everybody that I was never going to give up, and that I was going to fight my way out of it one start at a time. And I tell people, look, if you had told me at the All-Star break, John, you're going to pitch the clincher to get in the playoffs, the 7th game of the pennant, and you're going to pitch the 7th game of the World Series, I'd have checked you in. I'd have said, okay.
What were you, 2-11?
I was 2-11, and Leo always talks about it, and Bobby says the best 2-11 you've ever seen in your life, but I was 2-11, and we were 9 games out at the break or something like that. So I felt solely responsible for that first half. And fortunately, I got the ball every 5 days, which is a luxury and not something that everybody gets afforded to do. And I never doubted myself, but I did go into a slump. I did doubt. I started pitching not to win, and I outwardly talk about. I told John Sherholtz this. I went into a philosophical shift that offseason because I didn't like the way the contract went. And I said, I'll show you, basically. That was my attitude. Every game, I'm going to show you why. And it backfired big time. It was the only time in my life I've ever pitched like that. Because otherwise, I always pitched to do the best I could. And wow, did it blow up. Valuable lesson.
Peterson takes high, 1 ball, no strikes.
Had the wrong motivation.
I did. And I admit it. That's what taught me a valuable lesson, to not let something personal like that. I always pitched a little bit with a chip on my shoulder, and I loved it when people doubted me or when people thought I couldn't do something. So that was a motivator, but I shouldn't have let that contract thing even come into the picture and let it work. But every young guy goes through it. You have to go through something before you realize that was pretty stupid. Getting married, having my first child, and it was like, whoa, all of a sudden the world's spinning. And getting that opportunity to go in the second half and really get on that roll taught me that no matter what I go through the rest of my life, you can find your way. You can get out of that hole. You dig your way out.
2 balls, no strikes for Peterson. Well, then you and the Braves went on a roll. Of course, the '95 World Series championship season, but your best year was the year after that. Take us through the magical Cy Young year in 24-8.
96, after the shortened season in 95, I'd come off surgery, chip surgery again, and bone chips removed. And I say this, half-heartedly and jokingly when I went into spring training. I said the Cy Young run's over. It's my turn. I've been picked so many different years, expectation throughout every year, and I felt that good. I felt healthy. I didn't have to rehab something, and everything clicked. Came up with a split. It was the magical dream year that ultimately should have resulted in a World Series back-to-back championship.
Peterson hits it a mile in the air toward left. Dietrich is back. He's going to have room, and he's going to make the play. And
Stick around.
Sure. We're going to head to the 4th. Hall of Famer John Smoltz joining us as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of the '95 World Series team. 2-2 game tonight. Smoltz, there's that parade he was talking about a moment ago.
His lovely wife, Catherine.
It's unreal.
And the red carpet into the Hall of Fame and the plaque.
It's a good likeness too.
Yeah, I was blown away.
And there's our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot, some of John's career accolades. Another one I didn't know until I did a little research, and I think it's still true. You're the only major league pitcher with more than one playoff stolen base. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did, and I had another one, but I got slipped past the bag and they called me out. I thought it was a stolen base, but no, you shoot. When I broke into the league, believe it or not, I was the pinch runner.
Really? That was your first action?
Yeah, and I was told to be ready every game after the 5th inning. Okay, after the 5th inning, have your spikes on. I'm like, man. Well, it was in San Diego. It was before the 5th inning, and I'm pinch running, I think, for Jody Davis. I got milk duds. I'm kicking back. I'm having a time of my life. I got turf shoes on, and he goes, Smoltz, you're in for Jody Davis. I put the milk duds in my back pocket. I panic. It's like a 5-minute. I can't find my helmet. And your dad has had it was unbelievable. And Jody had my helmet. So I finally, as he was walking in, I switched helmets. I get at first base. Benito Santiago's behind the plate. I got like a 3-foot lead. And I get thrown out. I slide on my milk duds. I ruined a great day. And they come back, and Russ Nixon got all over me because he saw my shoes. I didn't have spikes. Yeah. I thought pinch running was going to be a lot more fun than that. And that
but the key, you ruined the milk duds.
The milk duds were done.
Really?
They're one of my favorite treats.
This is not a good sign after that last pitch and ground out. Mike Fultonevich is going to be attended to by athletic trainer Jim Lovell.
He's nodding like he's okay. Let's watch the pitch, see if we see anything. Does he grab at his side right there? That's the only thing I can see.
So D. Gordon, the batter, he smacks one toward Bourne in left, foul ground. Michael's there, he's got it, and quickly 2 are out. John, you and I were talking in between the break. I see a little bit of Mike Fultonevich in the early days of John Smoltz.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, all I had was a fastball slider, and I didn't know what to do with the slider. I'm fortunate to have a pretty good one. Fastball that I learned to command on the one side of the plate, and I became average on the inside part to a right-hander, and then kept developing and kept utilizing different things that I would learn. And it takes a while. You know, we want instant success right away with these young arms. And I think the biggest thing that you learn as you pitch in the game, and the only way you can learn is to pitch in the game. And to get experience, you learn what the hitters are trying to do, how to change the eye levels, how to get them off your fastball. But I'm not going to lie. The first 2 years, I'm like, I don't know why he swung at my slider. And then I learned how to pitch on both sides of the plate. So he's going to have to come up with something that turns a little bit more. His slider's okay. I haven't seen a lot of them. His fastball has life, but probably needs to be commanded, as we all need that seasoning. And then maybe if something's, I would say maybe a changeup or something that he could just get him off the fastball a little bit.
When you said you came up with your split later on, was that something you just experimented with, or was that something Leo suggested to you?
No, I just said, look, lefties are killing me. I can't slow them down. I tried. The 2 best changeups in the world were right there with me. They taught me I couldn't throw it. I couldn't throw it. You give me any grip, I was throwing 88 miles an hour. So Marty Contreras taught me the Fosh ball that turned into the split. And that was going to be somewhat of my changeup. And it just literally was perfect pitch for me. I came up with it really for Barry Bonds. In the playoffs in '92, I started working on it. And then in '96, I perfected it where left-handers couldn't sit on anything that was coming into them. And it really helped me.
Fly a ball to right. Markakis has got that. Can we keep you for one more half inning?
Absolutely.
Always a treat to have a Hall of Famer in the booth. John Smoltz will stay with us. This game moves to the bottom of the 4th inning.
afraid it might be a whoopee cushion because, you know, when he turns 12, we are going to throw him a party. The hair, for me, he not only could have gone into the Baseball Hall of Fame, you may be in the Redneck Hall of Fame now. That was definitely business on top and party in the back. Nice choice, buddy.
Oh, man.
That was terrific.
I was 50-50 when that wig was in the podium. I had to just, I didn't know if I was going to be able to pull it off or not. But I went for it.
It was great.
You guys taught me that, you know?
Yeah.
I did.
When in doubt, go for it.
Adonis Garcia is going to lead things off for the Braves. Bottom of the 4th inning. And a pop-up down the right field line. D. Gordon on the run. Foul ground. Can't get there. And that's out of play, strike one.
We've said this to Bobby and to Greg about this great thing that's going on with the Braves with the alumni.
Yeah.
Getting all you guys back together. That's got to be fun for you.
Absolutely. You know, there's been guys early on that we haven't seen for a while, and to see the amount of numbers that are coming out and really to break the ice, you know, for each has their own reasons. But it was so much fun. You know, we got a chance to do things that nobody else in the history of the game got to do, and you get reminded of some of the guys that you forget that were part of that. It's hard to believe it's 20 years ago, but what a neat day and a neat weekend, and really, like I said, this whole month and a half has been really a lot of fun for me.
Another strike for Garcia.
You have an assignment for next year.
Okay.
Let's get Blauser out here.
I know.
We were dogging him a couple of days ago. Still couldn't get him out here.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. You know, some guys take a little longer. Don't want to come back for whatever their reasons are. But it'd be great to see Blauser come back.
In the air toward right, and that's going to be the first out. John, you do great work with the MLB Network. You follow all the major league teams on a national basis. Taking away your Braves hat, evaluate what John Hart and the organization has been doing this year.
It's really been incredible. I know a lot of fans are scratching their head a little bit trying to figure this all out, but it's been incredible to offload not only the salaries and contracts, but to rebuild. Because, look, we've seen the Toronto Blue Jays, who are trying to make a push, what's been 20 years, 21 years, since '92. They have not been in the playoffs. They won back-to-back World Series. People don't realize how big of a hole you can dig.
That ball's headed toward left center field. Yelich on the run. He makes a great running catch. A Gold Glove caliber catch. 2 out.
And I think what they've done is it allowed the drought to be as short as possible with getting these arms and finding out who can, you know, be that diamond in the rough. And certainly they're going to have to get some power. But I think they've stockpiled enough in 2 years that when they want to go get a bat, they can trade away some of the depth that they'll have. They didn't have that. And I think even though they might have been competitive last year a little bit more, or even bleed it out, it would have been a longer drought than the fans were willing to wait. And I think this has been remarkable. I really do. It's not easy to get done what they've gotten done, and it's been a lot.
Well, you or one of your cohorts said as soon as the deal was made right at the beginning of the season to trade Kimbrel and EJ up to the Padres, he ought to get GM of the year right now.
No, absolutely. I mean, I know it was a big PR hit, right? And Kimbrel's one of the best all-time closers in the game, and yet the next 2 to 3 years were going to be really tough and have the best closer in the game. They got the most they could for him and those contracts.
John, congrats, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
For you. Hall of Fame person as well as a baseball player. We know that.
Proud of you.
Always
miss you guys.
Miss you too. Stop by again, with or without the hair. Hall of Famer John Smoltz. 2-2 after 4. Kohler versus Foltynewicz tonight. Braves fans, we're 6 days away from the John Smoltz Hall of Fame bobblehead night, Friday, August 14th against the Diamondbacks. Brought to you by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. The first 20,000 guests will get a bobblehead featuring the newly elected Braves Hall of Famer. Get your tickets today by visiting Braves.com/tickets.
It's a great weekend. Really great. Awesome to see all these guys. Some of the guys that weren't on the 95 team that were so happy to be back here. Marcus Giles, Charles Thomas, Mike Devereaux was on the team.
And I think you talked about it when John was here. Greg McMichael has done amazing work with the Braves alumni. And we have seen this grow over the last 6 years. It's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and more popular. And to your point earlier, look at the crowd tonight. Braves are 10 games under 500, playing the Marlins, who are 43-67. Well, I'm guessing 35,000 people are here tonight to see all the old Braves come together tonight.
You bet.
Awesome. Little tapper. Folty's got it, and the flip to first in time to get Yelich. Good start to the 5th inning. 1 out.
Well, it was a great catch Yelich made on Simmons, wasn't it?
Oh, man.
Talked to last night and the first night about how much ground he covers running the bases with that long stride. He did the same thing to run that ball down in left center.
I was talking with Brett Butler before the game about Yelich, and he said this has been a big year for him. This is kind of a character building year. Really the first time in his professional baseball life he's had any kind of adversity. Didn't swing the bat well the first 2 months, battled through the back problems. Playing on a Marlins team that was supposed to contend and isn't. And he's handled it great, swinging the bat great. And Brett Butler believes that before the season's over, Christian Yelich has a chance to get to 300.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. After that 2-out, 3-walk escapade that Foltynewicz went through and gave up the infield hit, bounced back and had a good 4th inning. And has retired 5 in a row.
That's downstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Casey McGee has doubled, walked, and he scored the game-tying run. And a bouncing ball to third. Adonis has it, and his throw perfect. 2 outs. Not seeing Mike just rear back and throw all fastballs this inning. Mixing his pitches. And he's set down 6 straight now. Here's Dietrich. Marlins are playing on pins and needles tonight, not because of Foltynewicz, but because of their starter last night. Big story today for the Fish. Jose Fernandez was sent back to Miami today. He was complaining of shoulder tightness in his pitching arm.
Whatever the reasons, if it's proves to be nothing, but it's still tight, I'd shut him down. Not necessarily for the whole season, but at least 2 weeks on the DL to make sure that at the end of 2 weeks it feels better.
That would be.
That was just a little high and outside. Landed in the front row. 2 Bob Ukers right there.
So dig in against that. 2 balls, no strikes. Last inning, Foltynewicz smoked A.J. Przinsky on a ball that bounced up there, and it caught the Braves catcher. 2-1. Well, if something is wrong with Fernandez, that would be catastrophic for the Marlins and bad for the game. Such a talent. And it was hoped in Miami that when he came back they would make a big run, but they dug too deep a hole for that to happen. Popped up. That should be handled by Maben. Simmons points the way. Cameron's under it. And the inning is over. 7 up, 7 down for Foltynewicz. Top of the Braves order goes to work looking for a lead. We're still tied at 2.
folks happy to see the old Braves, but there is nobody happier to be a new Brave than Nick Swisher.
To be able to go down and to get myself healthy and to come here to an organization that wants me, man, I could not be more excited, man. This is a great organization, great team. I know a lot of the guys already, and I'm just excited to come in here and try and be a piece of the puzzle.
So it was last August 20th when Nick Fisher had the surgery on not one knee, but two knees, and that's what he's coming back from. Nick said, hey, they had a 2-for-1 special. I had to get that on me, but this is a guy that watched the Braves growing up, and obviously Michael Bourne, who's stepping up to the plate now, Chip, is equally thrilled to be back here in the ATL.
And we're happy to have them both. As Joe said, 2-for-1, and two Major League players with some Major League track records to talk about.
Yeah, the unfortunate part of that is that somebody has to go down when you add two guys. And unfortunately for Daniel Castro, he's been playing really well in the absence of Andrelton Simmons. Castro's back at Gwinnett. But as I told you earlier, Chip, the thing that Daniel Castro proved is that he can play here and he can swing the bat here. He's a solid part of the future of the Braves the way he played.
Bourne hits it toward left, and Dietrich got there, and Michaels retired. One away in the fifth.
Todd Cunningham was also sent back after one game to help fill in, and he had himself quite a night last night, scoring the go-ahead run and making a great catch in the ninth inning.
Cameron Maybin doubled in the first inning and scored on AJ's two-out single. Cameron has 4 hits so far in the series. Hits are even 4 apiece, runs are even 2 apiece. And that's bounced foul. Strike 1. Keep you updated on the pennant races tonight. Mets are in Tampa Bay and trailing 5-4 in the 6th inning.
Wow, they were up 3-0.
Washington leads the Rockies 4-1 in the 6th inning at Nationals Park. Cubs beat the Giants again 8-6. Cubs are trying to chase down the Pirates for the top wild card spot. Pittsburgh beat the Dodgers today 6-5. Yankees lost again. Toronto shut them out today 6-0. The Jays are on an unbelievable roll.
Smoke a grand slam. Tulowitzki a solo homer. David Price 3 hits. Shutout ball over 7 innings.
So that race is now a 2.5 game difference between the Yankees and Toronto.
How about that Texas Seattle game? They went 11 innings and Texas won 11-3. That must have been a heck of an 11th inning.
So the Rangers are back over 500 now. And if Houston loses tonight, in fact they already lost 2-1 to Oakland, the Rangers are only 4.5 games out in the AL West. So all of a sudden in the so-called dog days, some of the races are tightening up. And Maybin rips one toward the gap in left center. Yelich to his right, cuts it off. Cameron's thinking too. Here comes the throw. It got away from Gordon, and Maybin's in safely. Fortune favors the bold. It did for Maybin. He's got a 1-out double, his second 2-base hit of the night.
You make them make a play. Make the defense make a play on you. Hanging slider. He stayed in there, waited on it, and ripped it. And look at this. This was a double out of the box. It didn't just happen between first and second. Yelich has a good arm, but it was Gordon there who didn't make the catch.
So an RBI shot from Markakis, who has 41 of them. Strike 1.
Nick Swisher was talking in an interview about how I already know some of the guys in here. These guys that are veterans on this ball club for the Braves have all been around long enough. I don't want to say so long, but long enough that they've either played against each other or with each other somewhere along the way. So a good grouping for Swisher to already know them.
Certainly an American League flavor to the Braves lineup. Bourne's been over there. Markakis, Brzezinski, Swisher,
and Gomes.
One ball, 2 strikes. Back our way, and just below us. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That slider has not been his friend tonight, Kohler. He's hung it 2 or 3 times, and every time he's done it, it's turned into a big hit. That knuckle curve has been better.
Sharply hit and past Echeverria into left. Here comes Maben around to score. Nick Markakis has put the Braves back in front.
Another multi-hit game for Nick Markakis. Boy, he's able to wait a long time before firing his hands. 37th multi-hit game, and Maben's good hustle set it all up. Tough even for Echeverria to knock that one down.
So A.J. Brzezinski will try to extend the lead. It's 3-2. A.J. had a first inning RBI hit. Bounced foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Kohler was a guy that we've been told has pitched with a chip on his shoulder ever since he signed out of Stony Brook College in New York. He was born in the Bronx, to high school in New Rochelle, New York, and went to college out on Long Island. Drafted in the 18th round, had to work his way up and won at every level, and has kind of tried to prove to everyone since he got to the big leagues that, you know, I should have been drafted higher. I'm better than everyone thought. And I happen to think he's pretty good. But he has not had a whole lot of luck. He's got good stuff.
Not much run support, that's for sure, as we mentioned earlier. And again, just 2 runs tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Caught a corner. AJ took it. 1-2.
That is the knuckle curve. PNC Bank box track shows you it was off the plate, but he got the call.
Bouncing ball up the middle, should be 2, and it is. But the Braves cash in a 1-out double and a Markakis RBI single. They've given Mike Foltynewicz another lead. He'll take it to the 6th inning. It's 3-2. Long, our friends at Delta Airlines get us from city to city. We'll be headed out tomorrow evening. After we wrap up our series with the Marlins, we'll have a brief 2-game stop in Tampa Bay and the Rays at Tropicana Field. When we get back, Atlanta-based multi-platinum Christian rock band Third Day will perform after the game. Actually, they'll perform here tomorrow before we leave town. And that'll be a free post-game concert. VIP fielded backstage passes are available now. Get your tickets at Braves.com/concerts. Forgot what day it is. It's the 8th. Tomorrow's the 9th. It's the concerts before we leave town.
It happens on 4-game series.
Yeah.
You're so used to 3-game series, you lose track of the days. I heard some guys listening to a game on the satellite radio coming in today, and they were all bumfuzzled.
And not to get on the scheduling soapbox, but we've had this long run of games after the All-Star break. We have a 2-game series with an off day at the beginning of it and an off day at the end of it. That doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense, does it?
Come home for 3.
Yeah, and then leave again to the West Coast.
See, if you were a team that had a nice lead in first place and wanted to rest your guys a little bit, maybe you just call the league and say, we're not going to Tampa. We're going to forfeit those 2 games. We're going to take 4 days off, rest our guys. We'll catch the Diamondbacks here on Friday.
Yeah, I don't think it worked that.
They wouldn't let you do that?
I don't think they'd let you do
okay.
that. Speaking of the Diamondbacks, big night for them tonight. They are retiring Randy Johnson's number.
Great.
51. For the Snakes.
Well, they have that big race like the Braves have the tool race. They have the race with Matt Williams,
Luis Gonzalez,
and Randy Johnson in costume. Maybe they just let Randy run as himself tonight. He's as tall as that costume.
That's right. Oh, what a stop. Adonis has it, and he got his man.
Picking and grinning over there. Oof. Rocket. A 1-hop rocket. You can see all the reaction in the dugout too. What a good play.
He's been very impressive.
He certainly has. I can't get over that this guy was out there for the taking.
He's 30.
I know.
And a lot of fans are saying, well, the Braves made a trade for Hector Olivera, who's 30. What people are forgetting is they have professional experience at 30 in Cuba. In the case of Adonis Garcia, as you mentioned, in the minor leagues here in the States.
He knows how to play.
Yep.
Puts the barrel on the ball. Ball jumps off his bat. And when we first called him up, I had seen some numbers at Gwinnett. He was leading the team in batting average and RBIs, I think, and I didn't know who he was. I thought he might be one of these guys that.
Gillespie hits one high in the air toward Bourne and left, and Michael to the track makes the catch. 2 out.
There are a lot of teams that organizations will sign as a DH type player, you know, some slugger. So I just assumed that's kind of who he was. Had no idea.
So he stepped in nicely for Atlanta with the trade of Juan Uribe to the Mets, and he's done great work. As this figures to be Fultonevich's final inning. He's approaching 100 pitches. He's retired 9 straight. He's got Echeverria in the batter's box with bases empty and 2 out. Echeverria 0 for 2. He's grounded out and popped out to shortstop Andrelton Simmons tonight. And back to Garcia. That's more credit for Brian Snitker and his staff with the Gwinnett Braves. You know, Brian is a beaming man tonight. Brian is a grandfather of twin boys born yesterday. Luke Michael and Jude Temple Goodman, born to Aaron and John Goodman yesterday. Absolutely beautiful babies.
All right.
And that's the ultimate double play right there.
Yes, it is. Congratulations to the grandparents, Brian and Ronnie.
Yeah, you think she's over the moon today?
You know it.
And we're thrilled for Brian and his entire family on their wonderful gifts that arrived yesterday, and wish them a lifetime of love and happiness. Base hit for Echeverria brings up Kohler in a 3-2 Atlanta game.
I'm with you, Chip. I think this is his last inning, and if he's not able to retire Kohler, he will be his last hitter regardless.
Ball one. Ball two. 98 pitches for Fultonevich, 52 strikes. And you heard what Bobby Cox said. Guys that throw hard like this, it sometimes takes them a little longer to figure out the aimage. He's gone 3-0 to the pitcher.
Well, he aimed that one big time, just trying to throw it over the plate and wasn't able to. That was an 89, and it was just a batting practice fastball he was trying to get over, and he'll do the same here.
He got the call, 3-1.
It's a hard game for the umpires to call, too. When the guy has been wild, like Mike was earlier, and then all of a sudden he splits the plate. It's like the umpire could get surprised too, like he was on the 3-0 pitch.
Hunter Wendelstedt has the dish tonight. And now Echeverria with a full count will be off to the races. Here it comes, and Kohler fouls it away.
He's basically just trying to throw a warm-up pitch, like between innings. That last pitch at 90, just trying to make him swing.
And he lost him inside. He thought he had him struck out. So a walk to the pitcher will be the end of the line for Fultonevich. Freddie Gonzalez will go to his bullpen, where Ross Detweiler and Ryan Kelly were loosening. Looks like it's going to be Ross Detweiler. So 4 walks for Fultonevich. He'll depart with 2 on, 2 out, and a 1-run lead. But he does have a chance to win it if the Braves bullpen can do good work.
Let's do this. The Georgia Lottery and your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places.
Say, Braves fans, spend your weekends at Turner Field with great upcoming weekend matchups against the Diamondbacks, the Yankees, and the Mets, along with Friday night fireworks and kids run the bases every Sunday. The weekend is a perfect time to catch a game. Visit Braves.com/tickets today to plan your visit to Turner Field.
So Mike Fultonevich, I hope he takes more good than bad out of tonight's start. Bad, the 4 walks. But the good, Joe, he kept it in the ballpark and allowed just 2 runs on 5 Miami hits tonight.
It would have ended on a really good note if he could have just finished off Kohler there. So he leaves it for Russ Detweiler to finish it up.
D. Gordon is the hitter and is 0 for 3 in the game tonight. Echeverria the tying run, Kohler the lead run, and Marlins pitcher at first. Lefties don't bother D. Gordon at all. He's a .364 hitter against them all year. This guy's an amazing athlete. He didn't play baseball in high school until his junior year. And here he is, one of the best hitters in the National League.
He was a basketball player, wasn't he?
Yes. He leads the league in hits with 132 of them. And for a good stretch was flirting with a .400 batting average. At the moment he's at .327, good for 5th in the league. What Detweiler's done to him right away, he's got him in a quick 2-strike hole. Little tapper. Simmons charges. He's going to flip to second. Smart play, knowing who is running. Andrelton didn't panic. Got the pitcher on the force play, and Detweiler shuts the door. Braves still lead. Home 6th coming up.
Long fly ball deep left center. Grissom on the run. Yes! Yes! The Atlanta Braves have given you a championship. Listen to this crowd. A mob scene on the field. Rollers get some 1, 2, 3.
Joe, you were there. Braves country was there with you, and that is our Coors Banquet timeless moment, the unbridled joy of a World Series championship when you consider just 6-7 years earlier how rough things were here in Atlanta, Georgia as a National League combatant.
I wasn't here when the rough times were as bad. I knew about them.
Right.
But I knew I saw how much joy there was in everybody in the success that led up to that and even beyond. But that night was monumental and just so enjoyable to be able to experience. Tommy pitched a whale of a game, and I love that quote that he said in the dugout, you know, just get me one, because that was definitely the way he was pitching. How about the Braves out homering? the Indians in that series.
And Bobby was right. That was an unbelievable offensive team that the Indians had with Jim Thome and Baerga. A whole host of sluggers that John Hart put together as the general manager of the Indians.
I've got to look it up, but my recollection, I mean, in light of the alumni and the, honoring the 95 team, I want to say that Klesko had a really good series, and he hit 3 of the 8 homers Gretchen just told me.
Really?
Yeah, and I think 2 in one game. I'm looking it up. They don't have the home runs listed here, and it was in a losing cause in one of those games, but he had a whale of a series.
But what unbelievable drama in the series deciding game. A late inning home run. And the Tom Glavine masterpiece decides it. I mean, a 1-0 series clinching victory.
That, we were talking to Bobby, and I said that was the first year of the extra round of playoffs. Marquise Grissom hit safely in all 14 games
of the playoffs that year. Wow.
Yeah.
And how apropos, he's the man that caught the final out, right?
Yeah.
2 balls and a strike for Nick Swisher as we start the home 6th. 3-2 Braves. Bouncing ball. Gordon to his right. Slides on the grass. Throws to first and made a great play to retire Nick Swisher. D. Gordon's made just 4 errors this year. Look at this effort.
With his speed, you know that he's got great range, left or right. Good play. Klesko did not hit 2 homers in a game. He became the first player ever to homer in 3 straight road World Series games. Very impressive. So we talk a lot about Tom's great performance, the 1-hitter, Wohler's save, and the David Justice homer, but there was a whole lot that went into winning that World Series by a lot of different guys. And that game in Colorado that Bobby referred to, and that play Chipper made.
Peterson to the left side. Nice pick by Prado and a perfect throw.
There is a video of that where Chipper looked to the shortstop, and I can't remember who was at shortstop at the moment, but the shortstop gave him a nod that a changeup was coming, so Chipper played a little closer. I forget which way. I guess he went to his right. And the big cat hit that pitch and hit it like a shot. And if Chipper hadn't moved over a step or a step and a half, there's no way he would have gotten it.
Wow.
And that was with a lot of Rockies on base.
Base hit for Garcia. He's got a 2-hit night. It's really funny, too, when you think about some of the biggest games that the Braves played in postseason play. It is a defensive play that's made the difference. The Walt Weiss play against the Astros.
Right.
At shortstop at the old Astrodome. That play you're talking about. I mean, it's just pitching and defense. It's been the hallmark of this organization, and that's what they're getting back to. And that's what's so exciting about what we hope to see in the remaining days of this year, next year, and looking ahead to 2017. This man in the batter's box figures to be a big part of that. Middleton Simmons back after missing 6 games with the sore thumb. First at bat, a sacrifice fly. 4th inning, a deep fly out that was caught by Christian Yelich. Great running catch. Ball 1.
Braves in those days, the wild card team got to host the first 2 games of a 5-game series. That was preposterous.
Right.
That
huge advantage.
Huge advantage in a 5-game series. And the Braves won 5-4. I believe it was Chipper that hit a homer in the 9th inning of that first game to give the Braves the lead and won the game. And then they got 4 runs, Braves did, in the top of the 9th of game 2 to win 7-4.
And that was an excellent Rockies team that the Braves had to beat. Blake Street Bombers, right?
Right.
Bichette and Galarraga.
And then in 10 innings, Colorado won at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium in Game 3, and the Braves won 10-4 going away of 15 hits and beat Brett Saberhagen. Maddox won that ball game. 50,000 people. So some really tough games in that first round, and now you got to go to the NLCS and you play Cincinnati, and the Braves walk through them.
It's funny. I was just thinking about that. I know we love to follow the NHL playoffs when we get our season started. Isn't that what often happens to the team that goes to the Stanley Cup? They have a 7-game battle royal in the first round. And if they can survive that, they're able to go on a run. Sounds to me like that's exactly what happened to the Braves in '95. Tested in the first round and then just whipped right through the Reds and then on it to the World Series.
Yeah, and I have to qualify that by saying they swept them in 4 straight games. The Braves won the first game 2-1 in the 11th inning at Cincinnati. They scored 4 in the 10th inning of Game 2 to win 6-2. And at that point, I think Cincinnati was pretty much done. Maddox and Avery beat him in Game 3 and Game 4. Avery shut him out on 3 hits in Game 4, 6-0.
And I don't think Avery gets enough credit for what he did in postseason play, and frankly, during that '95 year either. Joey Trdoslavich pinch hits for Detweiler here. 2 on, 2 out. Another run or 2 would be nice. See if Joey stays in the game. Swisher grounded out to start this inning and took a little extra time to slow down after he crossed the first base bag. He's had some knee problems, as you know. Guys will be very careful with him, you would think. Joey thinking about a homer, didn't get it.
Another interesting thing that I just looking at this from '95 in the playoffs. The first 2 games of the division series are won by Alejandro Pena. Maddox won Game 4 against the Reds. First game was won by Mark Wohlers. Second game by Greg McMichael, and then Maddox and Avery. So the bullpen was very instrumental. A lot of late wins in those first 2 rounds.
That's what Bobby said, right? A lot of close games with Maddox and Smoltz and Glavine pitching. Avery too. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Joey bounces one toward D. Gordon. He will make the peg to first, and that'll retire the side. Braves threaten, can't break through in the 6th. We go to the 7th. Atlanta 3, Miami 2.
Baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Well, fans, if you're playing fantasy baseball, MLB.tv serves up real-time highlights and pitch tracking info on your out-of-market fantasy players, live or on demand on over 400 devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Get MLB.tv today. Late innings now, 7th inning to be exact. Martin Prado will lead off against Andrew McKirahan.
He's given up runs in each of his last 2 outings, including 3 just 2 days ago against Miami. Braves had a nice lead when he gave up those 3, but it turned into a 9-8 win.
To short. Simmons gloves, grabs, and guns out Martin Prado. Nick Swisher is still in the game at first base, so no issues apparently running to first in his last at bat. That's good to see. And McKirahan gets the first out. Now goes lefty-lefty with Yelich. Yelich hitting .338 since late June. Do you see a batting title in this kid's future?
I do. I do. Tough out, hits lefties, and he's going to get a lot of infield hits because of his speed.
And he pokes that one into center field. Another hit for Yelich in the series. That's his 5th. And he represents the tying run with Casey McGee coming up. Downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Washington's winning tonight, 6-1 in the 7th. Mets still losing in Tampa Bay, 5-4 top of the 8th. Phillies keep rolling along. They're winning in San Diego again, 2-1 in the 1st. How about the fight in Phils? They have actually caught the Marlins in the division.
Yeah. I think that Washington game was Strasburg coming back today.
Yeah, he had 10 strikeouts about midway through the game.
Did he?
1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies, by the way, enter tonight's action with a 14-5 record since the All-Star break. They won in 12 innings last night. They hit 4 solo homers to win in extra innings. Line caught by Swisher and the tag at the bag. What a play!
Wow.
What a play by Nick Swisher. A double play in spectacular fashion in his Atlanta debut. Unbelievable grab. And that'll send us to the 7th inning stretch in thrilling fashion. Inning over. 3-2 Atlanta. hair raising night at Turner Field, where the Braves lead the Marlins 3-2 as we head to the bottom of our 7th inning. Joe Simpson, Chip Carey, Andre Aldridge. Our thanks to Bobby Cox, Greg Maddux, and John Smoltz for stopping by on this special night. And they've seen a good game.
How are we looking? You and me.
Pretty good. Catbird seat type stuff.
I'm telling you. Get 3 Hall of Famers up here back to back to shoot the breeze with you. That ain't bad.
And more fun tomorrow, we understand. Andrew Jones is going to join us for the series wrap-up. Ryan Klesko is going to stop by the booth.
Great.
And Kevin Millwood is going to come by.
Kevin was funny. He sat on the field, and it was wonderful to see him. He said, you know me. I don't talk much. I said, it'll be great, Kevin. It'll be a fast inning. Don't worry.
What a great play by Nick Swisher to double up the Marlins in the top of the inning. His former Indians teammate Michael Bourne is in the box now and fouls one out of play. You can't imagine the lift that getting Michael Bourne back in Braves uniform gave a lot of us when we heard the news yesterday. He was so important in that locker room and did such good work on the field when he was here. As Joe said, it was a shame he ever left. Atlanta's going to find out this year and next what he's got left.
He's only 32. Still in his prime.
That ball's hit hard toward Dietrich in left, but he's going to get there.
You know, we don't get to see Cleveland play, so we don't know what kind of shape are his legs in, but we'll find out right away. But I know this: Braves don't have anybody leading off that matches what he can do. One of those things we've talked about before, where like when Freeman was out and he came back, it makes your lineup deeper. It moves guys down into the lower part of the lineup that had been having to hit in the middle. When you've got Michael at the top and you already got that place set, it makes the other slots easier to fill out. Get Freeman back. You like the looks of the lineup so much more.
You bet. And as it's constructed now with Swisher and Tardosovich, you got 2 switch hitters. So that gives Freddie Gonzalez four players, if you will, to mix and match with either in his lineup or in a pinch hit assignment late in the ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not to mention the versatility defensively. Tardosovich could play the outfield if he had to. Swisher can, although probably very sparingly with knee issues.
Well, Yuri Perez has done a good job defensively. He can, be out there too and help these guys get a breather if they need it. But take a look at some of the numbers for Bourne and Swisher over their careers. 2 All-Stars for Michael, 1 for Nick. 2 Gold Gloves for Michael. Stolen base champion 3 times. Nick's been on a winner with the Yankees. Tons of homers in his career. Switch hitter.
And the other part of it that I like too is the Braves made trades at the deadline. They traded away major league talent, but they haven't folded the season. I mean, they've brought in 2 major league players to help them this year. They've given themselves flexibility as Maven strikes out. They traded Chris Johnson, who, as we said last night, made it very clear he didn't want to be here and was, the way the roster constructed, square peg round hole, if you will. But now, with those 2 acquisitions, those are 2 more major league players that other teams fighting for playoff spots have to worry about when they play the Braves. And if you're not going to go to the playoffs and the Braves aren't out yet, the next best thing is wreck somebody else's year.
Absolutely.
have a chance to do that. Lots of games coming up with Mets and the Nationals in the division.
Freddie Gonzalez was talking about that yesterday, about how his Marlins teams for, I think, 2 years in a row single-handedly knocked the Nationals out of a chance at the playoffs. The other thing for Bourne and Swisher is that the Braves' record is not that much greater than the Indians. In fact, they only have one more win than the Indians. But the Indians are in last place in their division, and they're 15 games out of first. So all of a sudden you come here and you're 9 games out, and you see what's going on. And you know what a great place it is to play in Atlanta. So there's a little better hop in your step when you come here, picking up a few games and a couple places in the standings too.
Mr. Markakis might be entering dancing Bobcat territory.
Yes, he's real close.
That's his 3rd hit tonight.
I'd say the same thing about AJ, but I don't know if AJ can dance.
He'll tell you probably can.
Yes, he would.
And he's got a hit tonight and a 13-game hitting streak.
Didn't you love him after getting tagged out by McGee earlier tonight? The frustration of, if I'd known he was going to tag me, I would have done something different, and he banged his helmet on the ground. I love that competitive spirit about AJ on every out.
Hates to lose.
Yeah.
Hates to make an out. Popped up on the play. And look, honesty compels me to report this, as my dad would have said. We've all heard the stories about AJ Pierzynski in the past, right? I mean, most hated player by his peers in Major League Baseball. We have seen none of that. Consummate pro, great with the media, answers the questions, great sense of humor, insightful guy, wants to win. Hate to see any guy on your team get traded. I am thrilled he's not.
I know there were a lot of Braves, current Braves, that were out mingling with the alumni in the dugout, checking them out. AJ was by the batting cage when they were taking the softball batting practice. He was by the screen, you know, chatting it up with everybody. He was like a little kid almost, seeing some of his old favorites.
Popped up and out of play. I don't think there's any doubt that if A.J. Pierzynski wants to manage, he could do it at some point. I don't think there's any doubt if A.J. wanted to move into the broadcast booth, he'd be great at that. As you heard in our interview with him earlier in the homestand, the consideration for A.J. is it's a tough time to be a father and a baseball player at the same time. And he misses his family dearly. They live in Orlando. And that's hard for him.
It's a challenge for all the players who are good enough to play at this age. Because if you've had a family already growing up, that when you get to be 38 years old, they're certainly of school age and beyond, and it makes it really hard when you start missing stuff.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And A.J. really earned Father of the Year awards in my book. His son was with him virtually every day this summer. And before the games, A.J. be out throwing bucket after bucket of batting practice baseballs. And his son's a pretty good little hitter.
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes. If something went wrong, he swings it right-handed, not lefty like his dad. Another hit for A.J. Markakis and Pierzynski with hits off the left-handed pitching Mike Dunn. And Atlanta with a 2-out rally, adding, or they hope will add another run.
That at bat was very interesting to watch, because the pitch before this was a fastball, and his best Sunday fastball that he fouled off. So he comes back with a slider. And A.J. never even flinched, waited on it, rips it to right. It was almost like A.J. set him up. I'm on your fastball, but I know now you're going to have to throw the slider. It better be a good one.
88 hits for A.J. Pierzynski this year. And Nick Swisher will turn around and hit right-handed. 0 for 2 and a walk already tonight. As I mentioned, the hit total for Pierzynski is now 45 hits away from 2,000. That'll be some kind of milestone for the man at first base. No balls at a strike for Swisher. Did you play against his dad, Steve?
I did, actually. His dad was a #1 pick and a good player.
I remember him with the Cubs. I remember the other clubs that Steve Swisher played for.
I want to say he spent some time with the Padres. Not sure if that's right.
1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a high fly ball. That's hammered deep left. Dietrich on the run. Warning track. Fans won't get it. It's off the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes A.J. There'll be no throw. Welcome to Atlanta, Nick Swisher.
Nick's already got the chop down. Almost hit it out. Landed right at the base of the wall. Jumped on a high fastball. 2 out Lightning. 2 runs in.
That's a big day in your debut. Your first hit, your first RBIs, your first chop, and your first use of the word y'all, all in about 8 hours.
Out away.
That's a big hit. 5-2 Atlanta, and listen to the crowd. "51 games remain on the schedule after tonight. There is a spring in the Braves' step right now. 1-0 pitch. Downstairs, and I keep thinking in the back of my mind what Johnny Gomes said about Oakland in recent years. At one point, 14.5 games out of first place. They led their division for 4 innings and went to the playoffs. Who knows what will happen? This team is going to play it out, and they're going to play hard the rest of the way. If you can't appreciate that, shame on you. All this with 2 outs. Singles by left hand hitting Nick Markakis and A.J. Pierzynski. Swisher turned around right-handed, doubled off the base of the wall. The Braves have scored 5 times on 10 hits. Having trouble with the lefties tonight.
Worked 2/3 of an inning last night and gave up a run. It was in the 4-run 7th.
Peterson swings and misses, and that retires the side. Nick Swisher brings an awful lot of energy and excitement to your club, and he showed it here. He's got the chop down. He's got his first 2 RBIs, and the Braves have got a 5-2 lead going to the 8th.
Our new friend, Nick Swisher. Braves have a 5-2 lead right now. And he feels right at home here in Atlanta. Matter of fact, on his Twitter account a little bit earlier today, he wanted the fans to know exactly how he felt. He said, every time I played in the ATL, I felt the love. Great city, great organization, great fans. Are y'all ready? Because the Swishers are here. And as McKirahan starts with his first pitch of this inning, I tell you what, the Swishers are welcome with open arms here at Turner Field. It's going to be a love fest, Chip, as you can tell already.
If we get him some grits, he'll never leave the South. As Derek Dietrich goes to work and takes a strike. Braves 5, Marlins 2. Trying to hand the Fish their 6th straight loss. Braves trying to win their 30th home game of the year. Remember, they started this homestand with more home games left on their schedule than any other team in Major League Baseball. So that's something else that gives you some hope. As Dan Jennings, the Marlins manager, looks on with one man out. Shelby Miller gets the ball for the Braves here tomorrow. Remember, it's a 5 o'clock start. We're on the air with Braves Live at 4:30. Brad Hand, we understand, will pitch for Miami. And Shelby Miller is long overdue for some run support. El Muto, the catcher, is an easy out. 2 away. Then we're off to Tampa Bay, an off day Monday, then Tuesday Williams Perez, Wednesday Matt Whistler. Tampa Bay Rays have not yet announced who their starters will be.
Always a challenge down there, though, as Fred McGriff told us last night when he was with us. The Rays are tough at home. Gillespie's had a good night. Hits and RBIs in his first 2 at bats, and then that deep fly to left that Michael Bourne tracked down.
No balls at a strike. And downstairs. I'm sure Giancarlo Stanton is watching the game tonight. And if he is, I hope he comes back sooner rather than later. The game needs Giancarlo Stanton back and healthy and hitting home runs again. Fortunately for him and for the Marlins, that fractured hamate bone is taking a little longer than he or the Marlins had hoped or expected to heal. And that's a big hole missing from anybody's lineup, especially that of the Marlins.
Well, he's one of those guys like Chipper was, that if you thought, hey, I'm going to go get a Coke, I'll be right back. Oh, wait, Chipper's coming up. Same with Stanton. Fans put off going to the concession stand or the restroom until after those types of guys hit.
One ball, 2 strikes. Gillespie pops up. Jace Peterson drifts out. McKirahan has had 2 terrific innings in relief. And that moves our game to a home 8. 5-2 Atlanta. 2. It's time for tonight's Toyota key play of the game.
2-out hit by Cameron Maben, and he stretched into a double, actually with 1 out, but his hustle got him into scoring position for Nick Markakis, who hit a shot past Echeverria to get him in, and that was the go-ahead run.
So the Marlins go to their pen again. It's Brian the Duke Ellington. Third game, or 3 games I should say, 4 1/3 innings. And the opponent's just 133 against him.
Got to see a little taste of him the other night. And he looks like a dandy.
Yeah.
95 to 98 fastball. Just saw his curve. He pitched 2 nights ago. 2 innings, a hit, 0s across.
16th round pick.
There's some good scouting.
Signed by Marlins scout Brian Kraft. Well, again, down year for the Marlins again. Disappointing year for the Marlins again. But as you look ahead to 2016 for the Fish, there are a lot of very exciting pieces that they already have in place.
Has this guy been a reliever?
Yes, for the most part. He started 3 minor league games.
All right. I mean, it figures that, I mean, with this arm angle, as hard as he throws, you can see him conceivably being their closer in the not too distant future.
Garcia turned around a 99-mile-an-hour fastball and hit it to the fence.
He made it to second base without any problem, but when he hit first, he looked like he tweaked his ankle a little bit. So you're right. Boy, did he rip that. Man. We'll watch him going to first here. He's kind of watching the ball. No, he just stepped on the inside of the bag. It looked a lot worse from my angle up here. Great swing, man. Again, the barrel to the ball.
3 solidly hit singles for Garcia. Now Simmons bats. Atlanta looking for more. Up 5-2. And he shoots one past the bag fair at first. Adonis will come home and score. Simmons chugging for second. He'll slide in with a double.
I know Anderson won't view it this way, but those 6 days off will help him a lot for the rest of the season. Inside out swing on a high, tight fastball that he fought off. But I think he was swinging the bat pretty well, remember, right before he got hurt.
Well, and you told a story while we were on the last road trip about how the Braves are really trying to limit his work to help him stay fresh.
Right. 50 swings max in the indoor cages per day.
So with Brad Hand scheduled to pitch here tomorrow, a chance for Johnny Gomes to get some swings in game 3 tonight. Gomes bats for McKirahan, who worked 2 scoreless innings of relief. Didn't get the high fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. David Aardsma is up in the bullpen. One would think Vizcaíno would not have been available. Pitched in a couple of games in a row with high pitch counts. This big lead that plays right into Freddie Gonzalez's hands. Simmons is going to take third. Thank you very much. And a fly ball means an RBI for Johnny Gomes.
Second swipe of the year for Anderson, and he steals third standing up.
Sharply hit and off Echeverria's glove. Simmons will score. It's 7-2. A pinch hit for Gomes.
Fastball had the middle of the plate. With the infield drawn in, limits Echeverria's reaction time. He can't knock it down. Heads up play by Andrelton Simmons to set that up again. His instincts is reading the pitcher, not paying attention to him. And he waltzed into third base with the swipe.
Let's see if Michael Bourne can get in on the fun. 13 Atlanta hits. Up the middle, Bourne's got a hit.
That's great. Join the party. Hit a good pitch too.
This is game 6 of the homestand, right?
Yes.
Braves have 67 hits. Chuck Hernandez is out to talk to Ellington, who surrendered 4 consecutive safeties to start the 8th.
You've got Chris Narveson ready in their bullpen.
Michael Bourne has a hit in his return to Atlanta tonight. Nick Swisher, an RBI double, and a great double play made at first base. Mike Foltynewicz is in line to win the game. It would be his first win since May 24th in the big leagues. And Tom Kohler victimized yet again by only 2 runs of support. Maben sitting in a pretty sweet spot on the lineup card, getting behind Bourne and in front of a red hot Markakis. And Cameron's got a pair of doubles and a pair of runs scored. Last night, in the Braves' 6-3 win, it was the 100th victory by Atlanta over the Marlins in this ballpark. Tonight, they go for number 101. And low, ball 2.
And the 10th of the year. And it was, as I said to you, I think last night, before the game, what the Braves did to the Marlins in Miami to open the season, went down there and swept them in 3 games. Kind of woke everybody up in Miami like, oh, you mean we're not going to win every game? What's going on here? We didn't expect this.
They were a sexy pick to make the playoffs.
Absolutely. Challenge for the division title.
Two balls at a strike. Braves won the first game of the season behind Julio Teheran. Remember, Eric Young Jr. came home on a fielder's choice, beat a throw at the plate for the second run. Luis Avilan got a huge double play. The bases loaded, nobody out in the 7th inning. And Atlanta held on with Jason Grilli picking up the save.
I think that was the only pitch Avilan threw.
And the Braves jumped all over Matt Latos in the second game of the year. Scored 6 runs off him in the first inning. He couldn't get out of the first. And in game 3, A.J. Przinsky, a 2-run homer in the 7th inning that beat Tom Kohler. Bouncing ball to short. Tough play. There's the force. And runners are at the corners with one out.
And Michael's jogging off because he hit the dirt funny. Watch Bourne on the right side of your screen come into the view here. Oops, wrong guy. You're here. Front foot just stuck in the ground and right over the top of the bag. He was smiling.
So are his teammates giving Michael a little grief about that awkward slide at second. So the night is done for Ellington. The Marlins appear to be ready for a double switch. Pitcher spot is due second when we get to the ninth inning. Atlanta with 2 runs, 4 hits off the young Miami right-handed pitcher. And they've extended the lead 7-2 with 14 hits in Game 3 of the series.
Delta Airlines, and your local Ford dealer.
Braves fans were 6 days away from John Smoltz Hall of Fame bobblehead night, Friday the 14th against the Diamondbacks, brought to you by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. The first 20,000 fans here at Turner Field get a bobblehead featuring the new Braves Hall of Fame. Get your tickets today. Visit Braves.com. This is Chris Narveson, and what a story Chris Narveson has been in his return to the big leagues. He made his first appearance in the major leagues in 2 years last Wednesday. 3 2/3 innings of scoreless relief against the Mets down in Miami. First 3 years with the Brewers, he was 25-17. Then was decimated by injury. 4 appearances, 11 innings total over the next 2 seasons. He went to Japan to work back into playing shape and pitching shape. Something that his teammate Casey McGee can understand.
Right.
Torn labrum. Surgery for a bad hip. Sprained a finger. This year his comeback was set back by an elbow sprain in spring training. And a ground ball too short for one. Turned to first in time, and Narveson continues his good work back in the major leagues. Atlanta scores 2 in the 8th. We head to the 9th, a 5-run lead. 3 in a row, and that's 4 in a row over your opponent. That's exactly what Shelby Miller hopes will happen tomorrow evening. He's one of our 2 Chevron probable starters.
Well, maybe the Marlins are his lucky team, you know. Hasn't won since he beat them, right?
That was the near no-hit game.
That's correct. So coming full circle, you'll face Brad Hand, who we have seen before and who we have said at times, why isn't this guy in the rotation all the time? Because every time he does a spot start against the Braves, he pitches well.
Finally, somebody listened to us.
I don't know.
But it's the wrong guys. We'll see what Hand has in store for us here tomorrow. Again, it's a 5:10 start, so you'll want to make sure you pay heed to that if you have tickets for the game. Hope you'll join us as the Braves wrap up this week-long homestand with the Giants and the Marlins tomorrow. 9th inning, David Ardsman a pitch. Echeverria, Ichiro, and D. Gordon are coming up.
Good work by the bullpen tonight. 2 1/3 innings so far by Detweiler and McKirahan. 1 hit shutout ball.
And ball 1 to Echeverria. Is a 6th inning single to his credit tonight. He's 1 for 3 in the game. And ball 2. Cubs beat the Giants 8-6. Pirates beat the Dodgers 6-5 tonight. Cubs pick up a game on Pittsburgh in the race for the top wild card in the National League. Cubs are playing good baseball.
Ardsman's had a heavy workload. This is his 2nd game in a row. But it is his 5th outing this month.
Three balls at a strike. And a leadoff walk. Come on, David. You got a 5-run lead. Fast man at first. Now Ichiro bats. And a straight to Ichiro. Slap toward left and right at Bourne, who had Ichiro played perfectly. 1 out. D. Gordon and Ofer tonight. 0 for 4 to be exact. Bouncing ball. Jace has it. Shovels to second. That's all Atlanta will get. Gordon at first. Echeverria forced at second. 2 out.
Slow developing 2-hopper. Got the lead runner. Gordon too fast to get 2 on it.
1 more out to get before this crowd of 42,544 heads home happy. Can't think of a more fitting way to celebrate the 95 club than with a win like this tonight.
Agreed.
Swings and misses down a strike. popped up. Markakis is there, and at 10 o'clock, the Braves are in the win column. 7-2, your final score. Welcome to Atlanta, Nick Swisher. Welcome back to Atlanta, Michael Bourne. And welcome back to the win column, Mike Foltynewicz. Atlanta 7, Miami 2, your final. The Braves go for a sweep here tomorrow evening. We hope you'll join us. Still more to talk about from Turner Field. We'll do that for you right after the break.